Tom Cruise has always been more than just a movie star. He has been a symbol of Hollywood charm, daring stunts, and unforgettable roles for over 4 decades. From the moment he appeared on screen in the 1980s, audiences were captivated by his boyish looks, sharp jawline, and boundless energy. His career became a story of discipline, risk-taking, and relentless pursuit of perfection. But in recent years, something else has been grabbing attention: his physical transformation. Fans around the world began noticing changes in his face, with debates growing louder after his 2025 Super Bowl commercial. Just minutes before, in a movie trailer, he appeared much more like the Cruise everyone remembered. The sudden shift sparked countless theories, from medical procedures to the heavy toll of his extreme stunts. Some observers even suggested cosmetic fillers, while others believed it was simply the price of pushing the human body beyond its limits. Headlines, talk shows, and social media discussions all began circling around one big question: what really happened to Tom Cruise? To understand this transformation, it is important to step back and look at his life as a whole, from his turbulent childhood to his shining moments in Hollywood, and from his personal struggles to the intense controversies that have shaped his image. His story is not just about fame, but about resilience, risk, and reinvention. Born on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York, Tom Cruise, originally Thomas Cruise Mapother, did not come into the world with the glamorous life he would later enjoy. His father, an electrical engineer, was known for his violent temper and unpredictable behavior. Tom once described him as a merchant of chaos, someone who created fear rather than safety at home. The abuse was not only emotional but physical, leaving scars that shaped how Tom viewed authority and relationships. His family moved constantly, often due to his father's unstable career. By the time Tom was 14, he had attended 15 different schools across Canada and the United States. This constant movement meant he never felt settled, and just as he made new friends, it was time to leave again. To make matters worse, Tom struggled with dyslexia, a condition that made reading extremely difficult. Letters seemed to jump off the page, and teachers often misunderstood his learning challenges. Some classmates bullied him, and even educators grew frustrated. Yet instead of giving up, Tom developed an alternative approach. He trained himself to memorize scripts by listening, learning not only his own lines but also those of everyone around him. This struggle, though painful in childhood, gave him the sharp memory and focus that later impressed directors. His mother, Mary Lee, eventually left his abusive father and worked tirelessly as a single parent, taking multiple jobs to feed her children. Watching her sacrifice deeply influenced Tom. He started mowing lawns, delivering newspapers, and taking on odd jobs to help his family. These early struggles instilled in him both a powerful drive to succeed and a desire to control his own destiny, qualities that became central to his Hollywood journey. For a time, Cruise considered a completely different path. At 14, he briefly attended a Catholic seminary in Ohio, planning to become a priest. But his rebellious streak soon surfaced when he and other boys were caught sneaking communion wine. He was expelled, and the experience convinced him he was not made for a life of rigid rules. Eventually, his family found stability when his mother remarried a kind man named Jack South. Moving to New Jersey, Tom finally experienced a supportive environment. He joined the wrestling team, but an injury ended that pursuit. One day, his drama teacher suggested he try acting. Tom auditioned for a school play and landed the lead role in Guys and Dolls. For the first time, he felt alive on stage, energized by the applause and recognition. Acting was no longer just an experiment, it became his dream. After high school, Tom made a bold decision. He dropped out and moved to New York City to chase acting full-time. With only $500 to his name, he lived in cheap hostels and struggled with low-paying jobs just to survive. His early auditions were rough, and casting directors found him too intense. But his persistence paid off when he landed a brief role in Endless Love, 1981. It was only a few seconds of screen time, but it marked his entry into Hollywood. Shortly after, he appeared in The Outsiders, 1983, and though he did not land the role he wanted, he still stood out in a smaller part. Then came Risky Business, a film that transformed him from a struggling actor into a star almost overnight. With a small budget but massive returns, the movie became a cultural phenomenon, and Cruise's iconic dance scene in his underwear cemented his place in pop culture. For Tom, the boy who once feared failure, this was the beginning of a journey that would redefine movie stardom. After Risky Business, Cruise's career skyrocketed. He took on diverse roles that challenged him as both an actor and a performer. In Top Gun 1986, he played Maverick, a daring fighter pilot, and filmed in real F-14 jets, pushing his body through blackouts caused by extreme The film grossed hundreds of millions worldwide and turned Cruise into a global superstar. He was no longer just a rising actor. He was the face of a generation of blockbuster cinema. The late 1980s and early 1990s saw him balance commercial hits with critically acclaimed performances. In Rain Man 1988, he played the brother of Dustin Hoffman's autistic character, showcasing emotional depth and earning massive box office success. In Born on the 4th of July 1989, he took on the intense role of a paralyzed Vietnam veteran, even losing significant weight and spending time in a wheelchair to capture authenticity. That performance earned him an Academy Award nomination and critical respect. By the early 1990s, films like A Few Good Men, 1992, The Firm 1993, An Interview with the Vampire 1994 proved his versatility. He could be charming, intense, vulnerable, or terrifying depending on the role. With each project, his fame grew, but so did the pressure. Long shoots, demanding directors, and physical preparation became the norm for him. At the same time, he started producing films through his own company, giving him more creative control. By the mid-1990s, he was not only one of the highest-paid actors, but also one of the most influential figures in Hollywood. He was young, wealthy, and admired by millions. Yet this success came with personal sacrifices and controversies that followed him throughout his life. One of the main reasons Tom Cruise stands out among Hollywood stars is his dedication to performing his own stunts. While many actors rely on doubles, Tom insists on pushing himself physically. This has led to some of the most iconic action scenes in movie history. In the first Mission, Impossible 1996, he dangled inches above the ground in the famous vault scene, completing it in one continuous take. In Mission Impossible 2, 2000, he performed dangerous rock climbing sequences on a 2,000-foot cliff in Utah without a safety net visible to cameras. Later, in Ghost Protocol 2011, he scaled the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world, hanging over 2,000 feet in the air. The risks were real at one point. His safety harness was so tight, it cut off circulation in his legs. In Rogue Nation 2015, he strapped himself to the side of an Airbus A400M plane as it took off, enduring freezing winds and 5 G-forces. Even when he broke his ankle while jumping between rooftops in Fallout 2018, he insisted on finishing the scene before seeking treatment. These stunts are not just for show. They reflect Cruise's belief that audiences can tell the difference between real danger and digital effects. His commitment brings authenticity, and while directors sometimes worry for his safety, the results often speak for themselves. Fans admire his bravery, while critics wonder if the risks are worth it. His relentless pursuit of realism has given Hollywood some of its most unforgettable moments, but it has also taken a toll on his body, a factor that may partly explain his recent physical transformation. Behind the camera, Cruise's personal life has been as dramatic as his films. He has been married 3 times, first to actress Mimi Rogers in 1987. She introduced him to Scientology, a belief system that would later define much of his public image. Their marriage ended in 1990, and soon after, Cruise married actress Nicole Kidman, whom he met on the set of Days of Thunder. Together, they were considered Hollywood's golden couple, adopting 2 children, Isabella and Connor. But their marriage faced hardships, including Nicole's miscarriages, which were devastating private struggles. The relationship ended in 2001, leaving both emotionally shaken. Cruise's next high-profile relationship was with actress Penelope Cruz, followed by his marriage to Katie Holmes in 2006. Their whirlwind romance made headlines, especially after his famous couch-jumping moment on Oprah. The couple had a daughter, Suri, but by 2012, their marriage ended in a fast divorce. Reports suggested Holmes wanted to distance her daughter from Scientology, leading to strained relations. Over the years, Cruise's absence from Suri's life has been widely discussed, with some attributing it to the church's disconnection rules. His marriages reveal a recurring theme. While his career thrived, his personal relationships often suffered under the weight of fame, religion, and work obsession. Despite these setbacks, Cruise has maintained a polished public image, though his private life continues to fuel speculation and debate. Tom Cruise has never been the kind of actor to rely solely on natural charm or improvisation. While his charisma is undeniable, what truly sets him apart is his preparation. Directors who have worked with him often describe him as obsessive, a perfectionist who refuses to cut corners. For example, before The Last Samurai 2003, he trained for nearly 2 years in martial arts and horse riding, spending long hours learning Japanese customs and language so his performance would feel authentic. For Top Gun: Maverick, he personally trained the younger cast of pilots, insisting they go through months of flight school so audiences would see real G-forces on their faces instead of computer graphics. He has a reputation for memorizing not only his own lines, but also everyone else's, ensuring he understands the rhythm of a scene from all angles. His colleagues often say that he is the first to arrive on set and the last to leave. This relentless approach has led some to call him difficult, but others admire his discipline. Unlike method actors who live as their characters off-screen, Cruise prefers what could be called total immersion. He does not just play a role, he becomes it through physical and mental training, giving audiences the feeling that what they see is not just acting but lived experience. This intense preparation has made him one of the most bankable stars in history. With his films earning billions worldwide, Hollywood has changed dramatically since Cruise's debut in the 1980s. But his influence remains everywhere. Before him, blockbusters often relied on ensemble casts or special effects. Cruise showed that one actor, through sheer commitment, could carry an entire franchise for decades. The Mission Impossible series is proof, running for nearly 30 years. It has grossed over $3.5 billion globally, with each film pushing the limits of action cinema. Younger actors often cite him as a role model. Stars like Henry Cavill, Miles Teller, and Simon Pegg have openly spoken about learning from his discipline on set. Even directors note that Cruise's hands-on approach to filmmaking has raised standards for what audiences expect. In an industry where green screens and computer-generated stunts have become common, Cruise insists on real action, forcing others to rethink their choices. His model of combining star power with producer-level control has also inspired actors like Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Ben Affleck to take more active roles behind the camera. In short, Cruise didn't just star in movies, he reshaped how they are made. Another remarkable part of Cruise's career is his international appeal. While some Hollywood stars remain mostly American icons, Cruise has fans across the world. In Japan, The Last Samurai made him a cultural hero, with many admiring how respectfully he portrayed their history. In India, he has been welcomed at Bollywood events, with audiences embracing him as one of their own. In Europe, his premieres often attract massive crowds, sometimes larger than local stars. What makes him stand out is not just his fame, but the way he connects with fans. Despite being one of the richest actors alive, Cruise is known for spending hours signing autographs, taking selfies, and engaging with people at events. He rarely uses social media, preferring face-to-face interaction, which makes those moments even more special. Fans who meet him often describe him as surprisingly humble and attentive, traits that have built deep loyalty over decades. Even when controversies hit, from Scientology debates to his changing looks, his core fanbase remains supportive, defending him online and celebrating each new release. This global admiration is proof that, no matter the criticism, Cruise continues to be one of the most beloved stars on Earth. Perhaps the most human aspect of Tom Cruise's story is his battle with time. Hollywood is a place obsessed with youth, where actors often disappear once they lose their fresh looks. Yet Cruise has managed to remain a